and welcome to yet another edition of Ask Miss Judes. I hope you're keeping well and enjoying life as God gives it. One of my awesome viewers had suggested that I, from time to time, do a quick intro of who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So maybe today is one opportunity to do that just very quickly. Um, so, by the grace of God, I was born and educated in Nigeria, naturalized, worked for many years, almost 2 decades in Jamaica in higher education. Now in Canada, working in higher ed as a curriculum and program quality consultant at a college. I have over 30 years of experience in higher ed. And by the grace of God, I'm also a wife, a mother of 3 adult children who were born in 3 different countries in the world and raised in 3 different countries. And I'm also now a grandmother. So I believe that I bring a wealth of experience of just being a professional mother. So I'm a mother and I'm a professional at the same time, and navigating all of those requirements of what it means to be a wife, a mother, a professional, a friend, a sibling, a daughter, all these numerous relationships. And because I've navigated most of these away from my country of birth, I feel that I would like to be of support to young women who are raising families away from their where their original families are concentrated. So we talk about everything: lifestyle, um, religion, well, I mean, spiritual, any questions that you want to talk about that are lifestyle related. By the grace of God, I try to do that. I also try to come from my own experience, knowing that it is limited, but I believe that as I share, you can take from it what you may to help your situation or help people around you for whom this might be a blessing. So that's enough about me. Today, I wanted to ask a question. This is very unlike anything I've done before, so I'll appreciate your feedback on how this is received. So today's topic is what I want to call, do you do these? And as we go along, you will know what these are, and then you'll be able to determine if you do them, why you do them, if you should continue to do them, or if this is an opportunity to rethink. So the first of what I want to ask if you do is, do you give up on your vision? I ask that because we are in a rather unstable kind of socio-economic environment at the moment, where it is so easy to see all of the problems and how minuscule we are in light of those problems, that we begin to, instead of keeping our vision alive, we begin to rationalize with our ordinary experiences to determine whether or not we can achieve those visions. Says she, who, when she was much younger, thought she would run a school. Now, I would say that has gone to the back burner because life took me in a different direction. But who knows? Maybe the older I get, the more I'm going to have time to give to that vision. But I want it to be really being serious. Have you given up on your vision? If there is a passion that God gave to you, I happen to believe that we all have peculiar callings in life, and what you can do with ease, I might struggle to do or not even be able to do. So what does that mean? If you do not live out your vision, some of us are going to miss out on what you would have brought to the table. So I'm speaking to you today. If you have a vision that you've suspended, I'm going to ask that you dust it and bring it back up. If you have only had it in your head, write it down and begin to work on how you're going to see this come to fruition. I would say do not be limited by what you need for now. Just write the vision, hold it in your mind's eye, and begin to work on how you can bring that to life. Not just for your own good, but for the benefit of all others who would be at the receiving end of that vision. Another question I wanted to ask if you do is, do you allow negative experiences to influence or impact you? So I'm going to say this because it is something I've had to work through. Life is such that we're going to have good and not so good experiences, sometimes really bad experiences. But what we do with those experiences is probably more important than the experiences themselves. So, um, many years ago, I was in a situation where I was acting as a head of department in our university um, subdivision, and there was a colleague who was a bit difficult to work with. So I thought if I encouraged her to do some of the things, then okay, this would mean that, you know, she's going to learn new skills, she's going to learn to be responsible and consistent. So every time she did the most basic thing, I would send her a message, well done, you're doing good here, try to reach out to so and so, thinking that I was encouraging her. It turned out that she really was unprofessional in some of her responsibilities. And then when students now wrote her up that she wasn't functioning, she ended up bringing up my messages that said, oh, I was telling her that she was doing a good job. So I know how to put those messages in context. But guess what that didn't do to me? It did not prevent me from encouraging other people going forward. I now have to be careful how I phrase written encouragement so that it is contextualized, that I cannot be quoted out of sync, right? So, do you allow negative experiences to influence you to the extent that you decide not to do what is right? If that is you, I want to appeal to you today to rethink. The third thing I'm going to ask if you do is whether you encourage people in your environment. I say that because encouragement is becoming a really scarce commodity. It's something that I'm really rich in, thank God, but I know that the environment we're in is very easy to find people who are depressed, discouraged, and I want to challenge all of you today listening to me. With every opportunity you have, encourage somebody. Sometimes all somebody needs to hear is, how are you doing? And mean it. Don't just say it because I said say it. Mean it and be that encouragement for someone who is probably right now longing for it in a way that they cannot express. When we are a source of encouragement to one another, the world is a lot better for every one of us. So as always, I'm going to ask that you like, share, and subscribe, that you share this message with many of your friends, family, especially those who you think could use a word of encouragement. And I want to remind you, please do not give up on your vision. Do not allow negative experiences to influence you otherwise, and be a source of encouragement to someone within your sphere of influence. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave those comments coming in. It'll be amazing if you could share your experiences in this regard. And if you'd rather send an email, please do so to askmsjudz@gmail.com. So that's askmzjudz@gmail.com. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. I look forward to coming your way again real soon.